your host, Gusto G.
God bless. Good afternoon, St. Louis. Welcome to the Gusto G Show. Here at KXEN 1010 AM and 104.5 FM. Oh my goodness. God bless y'all. Great day today. And I'm actually here with a special guest. And right now I'm going to allow this brother to introduce himself.
All right. Thank you. My name is Robert Parson, and I am the Ward 8 councilman for the city of Florissant, and I am running for mayor of the city of Florissant in this upcoming election on April the 2nd. How are you doing today, Gusto G?
Hey, I'm doing great.
All right. Thank you so much for allowing me to be on your show. It's truly a blessing. I really appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it.
God bless you, bro. And anytime, man. Actually, anytime you want to come back, you can, man. Right now, you are a great example of what a man should strive to be. This brother here, and I'm sure you're not done growing. This brother here is amazing. You know, his background, everything that he's doing, everything he's about to do. This brother right here is changing lives. And this is the type of influence that I wish I would have had in my younger years, right? But right now we got a great leader in the community, and I'm going to give him the opportunity to share a little bit about himself. And I want to say that this is what we about. We about not only changing lives, man, but benefiting our communities, you know. So,
right.
You know, of course I was going to have you on the you know, I need this type of energy, this righteous positivity. We need this around, especially with our younger generation. You know, we see the direction that things are going, but with people like us around, you know, brothers like this brother right here, this man here is a great man, Robert Parson. Listen, we always have an opportunity to make things better. So go ahead, sir.
All right. First off, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a native of St. Louis. Grew up in both University City and Baldwin. My parents are both native of Mississippi. You know, everybody from St. Louis is from Mississippi somehow. My dad came here to Mississippi when he was 16 with a quarter in his pocket. He would tell me all the time. And later on, he met my mother. My mother he worked as a cook his whole life. My mother started a hair salon called Parsons Beauty Salon. A lot of women back in the day in the 80s and 90s, they were really familiar with her salon. So, and she's still doing hair today. I'm just always so proud of her. But they were both a real influence on me, because when she started her business, it was like in the late 70s, and it was tough for, you know, a black woman at that time to get started in a business. So they set an example, showed me what it was like to be an entrepreneur, to take advantage of my opportunities.
Absolutely.
And I am definitely thankful for them. And they also told me what it was like to have faith in yourself and to have faith in God and be able to do what is necessary when you have God on your side. So they are definitely a great influence on me. After I went to college, I went to law school, graduated from law school at St. Louis University. I've been practicing as an attorney for about 17 years or so. I'm a solo attorney, and I have my own law firm in Clayton. I do general practice, which is mainly like family law, personal injury, and probate law. And I call myself the poor man's attorney sometime. When you go to law school, you think you're going to get out and you're going to make tons of money. It's not always like that. You got to work hard to get out there and provide for your family and for yourself. And I get to help a lot of people. I get to meet a lot of people, which is really great. So I appreciate that. And I think my expertise in the law field will help me in the political arena also.
For sure.
I agree. And when I ran for city council and I was elected city council, it was just overwhelming, the support that I had in the community. The city of Florissant has been around since 1786, and I was elected the first African-American city councilman in the city's history. And that was just, it was just really a great breakthrough for the city. We have a lot of diversity in the city of Florissant, which I think is a strength for our community. We have a large Hispanic community, and we have different festivals that we have every year where we get to celebrate all of our differences. And I think not every community has that as a part of their city, and we are definitely blessed to have that diversity in the city. I just want that diversity, though, to reflect the leadership in our community. So I want to be the first African American mayor for the city of Florissant, and we're going to make that happen on April 2nd.
Hey, God bless you, first of all.
No, thank you.
Man, it's powerful. That's so powerful to me because for the simple fact, you know, we have come so far, you know, in this country. We've come so far. And this brother was elected the first black city council member, the first, hopefully, the first black mayor of Florissant. This brother here is changing lives, and he's showing that anything is possible. We need to not only stay focused on the task at hand, but the future also. And I get that from Mr. Parson. You know, I get that from him. I get that he not only just want to be mayor, but he has a plan. He has a blueprint. He has things that he's gonna do to not only make the community better, which is a great city. Florissant is wonderful. Florissant is wonderful city, but not just you know right now, but to bring everybody together. He said that it was a diverse. It is okay.
We have a very diverse community, and I think what we need to do for the city of Florissant to make sure that we continue to get better for the future is we need to encourage young families to come to Florissant. We have very affordable housing in Florissant. We have a school district in the Ferguson Florissant School District that is performing well right now. Hazelwood is also a part of our area as another public school district, and that is something that's really important to young families. So as long as those school districts are doing well, I think that helps attract young families to the city. So the city administration needs to do whatever we can to try to assist our school districts. So if we need to, you know, help with back to school rallies where we're trying to get donations for school supplies, I want to make sure that I make that happen. If we have part-time employment positions in the city that some of our teens in the area can use to try to, you know, get on their feet and make some money and support themselves, and I want to do that also. I also envision helping these students, the teenagers in high school, get accustomed to being at a job and learning how to do job interviews and what it means to be a part of the professional business area. And I think that I can make that happen with an internship program. Last year, you know, the students in the McCluer North High School, they have really helped me out a lot. Last year, they helped me with a trash relief program. So they were out picking up trash on a Saturday morning. And I was like, wow, in high school, I don't know if I would have got up early on a Saturday morning to help clean up the neighborhood, but they were all really professional and got the job done. And I was really impressed by them. They have expressed an interest in being a part of my campaign right now. They've helped in writing postcards. They're going to help me in canvassing. And, you know, it's really great to have that base, a young base like that, interested in their local politics, because local politics are so important. It's what affects you directly. I know a lot of times people want to go and they vote in the national elections, but the local elections is what's happening right there and right now that can affect you directly. So,
absolutely.
You know, it's good to see the inspiration of those young people, and I like to hope that I'm an inspiration for them. So.
Oh no, you are. You you definitely are. You know, I'm a very self-motivated person. You've been inspiring me. I'm serious, man. Listen, this brother here, and I want you to know, man, the Gusto G Show, we are behind you 100%. You know, here at KXCN 1010 AM 104.5, we have the capacity to reach approximately 3.7 million people at any given time. Wow. You know, and so for anybody that follow my show, any friend to the show, anyone that cares about the things that we doing at the Gusto G Foundation, what we doing at Global 1000, just different things that we doing. I want y'all also to not only pay attention to the strides this brother have been making, but get behind him and his campaign. We need leadership like this. We need leadership like this, period. Period. And I want you to know, brother, you are a sign. Like, literally, you are a sign. You are, okay, you running for mayor, man, but you know when you're on the highway and it might say 2 miles down is gonna be Florissant exit, or it's gonna be West Florissant, or it's gonna be it's gonna be a sign for what's to come or whatever. And so signs to show us what's to come, if we stay on this path, right? This is where we're gonna go. This brother right here is showing us, he's showing our youth that leadership like his, right? Strides like his, influences like his, if they follow that, if they listen to that, if they show that, period, I don't care what type of people is trying to offer me this or do this to me or whatever, there's men like Robert Parsons, our future mayor, our great mayor, and, someone who not only is running for this because he feel he can do better, but he's running for this because he loved the people. He loved the community, period. He has been serving Florissant for a long time, I understand. So he is a sign, and you are a sign, so you are what's to come. You are what others can see, and I'm sure, once they get to the destination, they see, wow, if Brother Mayor Parsons ran and he did these things, we was behind him, he made these type of accomplishments, he did this, he did that, I can do something greater, because that's your message.
Wow. You sound just like me.
I mean, that's what I did. That's what I got from you, So, I get from you that
words.
You are showing the example of what can happen, period. It's not just about you and, your campaign, but you are about the people.
Right.
And, that's why.
Yeah, I always try to be an inspiration, especially to our youth. We have a lot of youth out there that don't really have good influences in their lives. Right. So I do whatever I can, not only to be in my children's lives. I've got 3 wonderful children. Let me say their names, by the way. Cheyenne is my oldest. She's attending college at Washington University.
Okay.
My middle child is Mikayla. She is attending McCluer North High School. My youngest is Jordan. He's in 3rd grade at Commons Lane Elementary, and that all of this and all of the wonderful things that my children are doing would not be possible without my lovely wife, Tanya, who was definitely a jewel.
Shout out to her.
I was definitely blessed when I met her. So,
yes,
but in any case, in terms of being an inspiration, I feel great when I also coach young children in different sports, like in baseball, softball, soccer, and basketball. I've done that for a while, and it's really great to see young children when they're like in the 1st grade, 2nd grade. They really get to grow, and they understand, and they see the opportunities, and they really learn. And I not only like to see them do that in sports, I want to see them do that in life. So I feel like being an inspiration like that, they can look at me and say, hey, look, Mayor Parson, I remember him. He used to coach my soccer coach back in the day. I want to make sure that they have a relationship with people who are the leaders of the community, and not feel like there's some huge disconnect. If they feel like they need to contact me about an issue in the city, they can always contact me, send me an email, call me, what have you. I'm always going to be available. The best ability is availability. So I definitely want to be available to our youth and for all of our citizens in the city of Florissant.
God bless you, brother. Wow. Yeah, I'm very, when I learned about you, and, some people were telling me about you and the things that you were doing, and just at how, righteous, your whole campaign was, and everything that you was about, your law background and different things like that, I just got to thinking. And, not only did, of course, we want to get you on the show, but if we have more of this, right? If we have more examples, like, because your 3 children, they got a beautiful example in you and your lovely wife. I mean, come on, and a lot of our a lot of our youth right now, they are, we going through this stage right now where it's like a drug epidemic out,
Right,
you know.
right.
And you know, we have a lot going on in the city, but there's people, there's people, and there's organizations that's really doing the work. You know, I'm talking about working hard. I'm talking about, you know, it's a lot of it. So too many to name. Somebody gonna give me if I name one or two, somebody gonna be mad at me.
Yeah,
Because you know, I can't remember everybody's name,
Right.
but y'all know who y'all are. We got a lot of people doing wonderful things in the community, and this is another brother who's also doing great work. And you know, it's all about unity, y'all. It's all about unity. We must unify. We must get behind righteousness. We must. You know, I want you to know. I don't know if you know a little bit about my past, but as a youth, I used to play football, baseball. You know, I was doing, you know, I was gifted athletically, but because of lack of guidance, right?
Mhm.
Father in prison, different things like that, and my overall influences. You know, the people that I looked up to, the examples that I followed, the signs that I seen. Okay, I seen a sign. Okay, that guy, he got all the jewelry on, he got all the money,
Right.
he got girls. I want to be like him. You know, that was the sign that a lot of our youth, like myself, suffer from, right? That particular type of mentality. And it's brothers like you that's changing that and bringing a whole totally different dynamic to things. And you know, that's why you know, we need Robert Parsons elected. We need him elected to the mayor of Florissant because he's doing these things that others, you know, I gotta say, people have been doing a lot of good things, right? But the type of influence that he is, his background, him not, you know, necessarily being from this part or that part, but him, you know, just recognizing who he is, what he's meant to be, and what the people can be. You know, he realized that he needed and must be that particular example to show others what they can do, what they can be, and what we need to be together. So I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know.
In terms, we spoke on leadership earlier. I just wanted to go back to that. One of my favorite quotes by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King says that everybody can be great because everybody can serve.
Yes.
So, I mean, even though I'm an attorney, I just want people to know that if you want to get out there and you want to do great things in your community, you don't have to have all of the degrees behind your name. All you have to do is have that heart and that willingness to serve people. And I feel like I have that willingness to do so. I do everything that I can for the community. In terms of leadership, I feel for the most part that I'm a leader by example. I try to make sure that I'm moving forward, that if there's any goals that need to be reached, that I'm accomplishing those goals. Everybody needs help, of course. So whenever I'm lacking in some areas, I try to surround myself with people who can help me in the areas in which I'm lacking. So I believe that I would be a good person who would be the mayor of the city of Florissant. And honestly, I think Florissant needs someone like me in the mayor's office. The city has some challenges in terms of our budget, and I believe I can help accomplish those goals. Sometimes, in the way we do our budget process every year, it's kind of frustrating for me because it's laid over to the city council in like October of every year. I feel like our budget needs to be evaluated on a monthly basis. I mean, just your own simple household, you don't wait until once a year to really evaluate your whole budget for your household. You doing it every single day, every single month. You want to make sure that I want to make sure that we're discussing things between the mayor's office and our city council so that we can work together in terms of resolving any issues with our budget, and so that we're being great custodians of our residents' taxpayers, our residents' tax dollars.
Yeah, you know, I appreciate you for sharing that. And what I want to ask is, because of those issues, right? What are some of the key things that you've came up with? What are some of the things that the people can expect once you are elected mayor?
Well, one thing I want to try and see, and if we can do, is improve our police department. In talking with some of our officers, they feel like that we don't have enough officers to be able to cover what's necessary over for our streets of Florissant. Now, our officers do an excellent job right now. However, I would like to see them have all the tools that they need so that they can accomplish their jobs correctly. We were lucky enough to be able to give our officers a raise last year, which was definitely needed. They always do such a wonderful job in protecting our city, and I think they need to be rewarded with the resources that we can provide them to be successful. Additionally, we have had some issues with some of our recreational things that are very important to our residents. We had to shut down one of our pools, which we were lucky enough to have 2 pools in Florissant, but one had to be shut down because it had reached its maximum potential. It was over 20 years old. So we need some direction in making sure that we can get another pool like that, another recreation back area for our youth to have something to do. We don't want our youth just to be, not being able to go to the pool, not have a good rec center where they can go enjoy themselves and things like that. I want our youth to have the ability to do some things and not be out getting into any trouble. We need to make sure that they're occupied.
Yes, sir.
So, those are just a couple of the things that I think are need to be addressed by our city financially, that I think I can provide some leadership and some direction and helping with those things.
Okay. Hey, I appreciate that. And I want to say, anyone just tuning in, I am with the wonderful and great champion, right, of St. Louis. This brother here is doing a lot of wonderful things in the city. His name is Robert Parson. He's a experienced attorney, and by the will of God, he will be the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Of Florissant really soon. So the election is in April. April what?
April 2nd.
April 2nd. April 2nd in Florissant. Vote Robert Parson in for the mayor. And, I want to say, and anyone just tuning in, you tune in to KXN 1010 AM, 104.5 FM. You can catch us live streaming on faithtalkstl.com or KXN1010am.com. I want to say a lot of the problems we have is because of lack of leadership, right?
Okay.
In this country, right? And a lot of problems that we are having in this country is because of the leadership that is, currently in place in different areas, right?
Right.
Different personalities affect and give birth to different type of actions, in the people. The people can get aroused, the people can get, I can be passionate about a certain thing, right? But with a particular leader in place, that will take me down one direction or another. So leadership, or proper leadership, is really important, right? Because if the wrong leader is in place, who knows? He might incite some bad things.
Right.
If the right leader is in place, he's going to inspire hope and continue to encourage the people to be together. The greatest in God's eyes, right? And we just going from scripture, right? The greatest race is the human race, period.
Okay.
The human family, right? So we don't want to focus one way or another, right? You can love yourself, right? But we must people ask all the time, right? And I've asked, what's the best way that I can serve God, right? And my response to that is this, the best way to serve God is to serve his creation, to serve his people, right? Mm-hmm. Serving the people is serving God. So anytime brothers like you, mayor, presidents, whatever, right? You're in place to serve the people. That's what you're in place for. Mm-hmm. You are a servant of the people when you're a mayor, right? And I'm glad it's a big responsibility, and I'm glad that you, got the heart, got all the things, the intangibles, man, that it takes to do that. And I believe you'll do a great job also. I want to say that. Yes, sir.
Now, you spoke on having the right type of leader in office and
yes, sir.
some of the issues that we are having. I think divisiveness in our leadership does not help our community whatsoever.
Not at all.
I always try to, you mentioned, some of the things that God has blessed us in terms of knowledge. Of course, if you read the scripture, it says the best thing that you can do is try to love your neighbor. So I try to express that all the time by instituting what I call the Florissant 5. And what that is that you have a lot of times people get really busy in their day-to-day lives. They go home, they go to work, and they may see their neighbor every once in a while and they'll wave at them or something like that. But with my Florissant 5, I try to get people to get to really reach out and know their neighbors, your neighbor across the street, your neighbors that live on the right and the left of you, and your neighbors that live cat-a-corner to you. Okay. So that's 5 different households
yes, sir.
That you have an opportunity to get to know. And I think that helps us in terms of knowing what's really going on in your neighborhood, and it helps protect your neighbors too. If you see somebody at John's house next door that you don't recognize because you already know John, you know John's wife and his kids and his mama and everybody else, when something is not right, and say, hey, look, somebody is not where they're supposed to be. I'm going to contact the police, or I'm going to look out for John because he's my neighbor. Or, right. You have a neighbor across the street who's elderly. It's snowing like it was yesterday. You might want to get your shovel out
for sure
and start shoveling their driveway for them. So I think those are the types of things that are really, really important. And also what I've done with the Florissant 5 is I've extended that to our businesses. Right now, we have some businesses that are closing in the city of Florissant. It's tough for a lot of the brick and mortar stores to compete with a lot of the online sales and things like that. So I try to encourage people to every single month patronize 5 businesses in the Florissant area. So I just extended that also, and I think that's really helpful.
That actually brings me to my next question. Okay. I was just about to ask you, how do you feel about entrepreneurship in general and Black entrepreneurship in particular?
Well, definitely. I want to encourage people in starting their own businesses. Whatever you love to do, I want to encourage people to do that. So if you want to start a clothing line, if you want to open a restaurant, if you want to do all of those things, I try to do whatever I can to encourage people to do those things, because of the other things that they could be doing out there to make money is not an option for me. I don't want to see people get hurt. I don't want to see people locked up. If you have an opportunity to start your own business and do it the right way, that's what I want to see for not only the city of Florissant, but the whole community.
Period. And wonderful. Going back to scripture, where there's no vision, the people perish, right?
Right.
So where there's no vision, the people surely perish. You definitely are a man of vision.
Thank you.
So, definitely a great visionary. And, and I believe that, we are going to do everything we can to get this brother elected. So you are going to be mayor of Florissant, but I believe there's going to be even greater things because, we need men like you. We need people like you. We have great women in this city also. I'm telling you, we have some beautiful women in this city. Like I said, we have some great guys in the city also. And in following your lead and everything that you're doing, right, there's going to be opportunities, and we need situations, and we need to create the opportunities for it to be places and positions and times where you can serve a greater population of people, a greater community of people, So, I want to say, everything that you've been doing is wonderful, and you definitely are a man of vision. And so, with your leadership, what do you see for St. Louis in general?
Well, in terms of leadership, the big thing that's going on right now for the city of St. Louis and the county is this Better Together city-county merger that people are discussing right now.
Yes,
there's some people that are for it and some that are against it.
Mm-hmm.
personally, I think that the city-county merger is not good for the city of Florissant. That's my concern right now. I don't think it's good for our residents. I don't think the plan is something that is good for our residents. And ultimately, I don't believe that the whole state should be voting on something that affects the city of St. Louis and St. Louis County only.
Right. Don't make sense to me.
Yeah, if you live in Columbia, Missouri, or if you live in Independence or St. Joseph, Missouri, why should you be voting on something that's happening specifically to the St. Louis metropolitan area? I don't believe that that's right. So I'm not sure if this is going to end up coming up to a statewide vote or not. If we do get there, then I'm sure there's going to be some legal challenges in regards to that. The Municipal League of Metropolitan St. Louis is taking the lead on trying to restrict the voting for St. Louis City and St. Louis County residents only. So hopefully there'll be some success with that. They need 15,000 people to sign a petition in St. Louis County and 5,000 people to sign the petition in St. Louis City to be able to put things in motion to allow only the city and the county to vote for any type of merger. And most of the people in my community, they have been against the merger. I am firmly against the merger. I just don't think that it looks out for our residents. Ultimately, there will be 33 people who will be elected officials representing the city and county collectively together. Right now, we've made some strides in our different communities in St. Louis County in our leadership. We have diversity. People have an opportunity to be leaders in all of their communities and to go to a situation where we only have 33. I don't know what that leadership is going to look like. And personally, I think it's going to set us back 40 or 50 years if we have this merger and only have, 33 people leading this area.
Wow. That's powerful.
So very important, very important. I encourage people to do their homework in terms of this merger, make sure they understand it. Better Together is run by a billionaire here, and he's put $20 million, I'm sorry, not 20,000, $20 million of his own money to try to make this merger happen. So right there makes me think he's not just giving away $20 million for nothing. There must be some motivation for him to do that. He's not just doing this out of the kindness of his heart. So you need to be really careful and figure out what's going on with this proposal.
That's pretty much simple mathematics right there. I'm not finna invest something unless in some way somebody is finna benefit greatly from my investment. Now if I'm just a philanthropist, or if I'm just someone who is very righteous, I give something away. But if I'm not just known as this righteous guy that's doing things out the kindness of my heart, then I'm finna to benefit greatly from this small token that I'm about to give. So that is something that people need to really think about. And you being so honest about that is one of the things that integrity.
Very important.
Very important. Not just bending and all that to whatever just because you have something you're trying to accomplish. I want to do this, I want to do that. So I'm gonna say whatever the people want to hear, so I can get elected. I'm glad you're not that guy.
Sure.
So I want to say that's something that I really appreciate. We need you in this city, man, and Florissant most definitely needs you. The potentially first black mayor of Florissant. How you feel about that, man?
Sounds good to me.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I ran for city council, wow. I knew at that point that was not going to be my only stop.
Yeah, that wasn't it.
I knew that I would go further in politics, which is really funny because as growing up, I had no clue or interest of being a part of politics whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, I don't really consider myself to be your usual politician. I just doing things that I always do. I try to make sure that I have a good influence on my community. So I just feel like this is something that is, I think is going to be a good inspiration for my community. And I appreciate God allowing me to have the tools to be able to do this.
Yes, sir, man. All praise due to God. He definitely have some warriors,
Oh, definitely.
He has some warriors, anybody that's doing the work of God, right? And I'm not talking about just preachers, pastors, ministers, deacons. No, anybody doing righteousness, promoting a good word, right? It's funny, and speaking about charity and different things like that, right? That's something that Jesus was, he always was about that. He always was about giving to the poor. He always was about helping people that was less fortunate and different things like that, And I want people to know, that may feel that I'm going to call it an excuse, may feel that, I don't got no money to help out this person that I know don't have nothing. The old lady over there who, this sister 60, 70, 80 years old, she out there trying to, shovel snow and, because, her grandkids are not around or whatever. Charity is going over there and helping that lady out.
Correct. You definitely want to make sure that you're doing your part, because you never know what your situation is going to be like when the roles are reversed. And,
yes, sir.
And whatever you're doing now will come back to help you tenfold, I believe. So if you're helping someone when you're in your 30s or 40s who's elderly, then, when you're in an elderly position, then you're going to benefit from that.
If just on a small scale, if you want to please God, someone that's down, go over there and tell them how important they are. Tell them how much God loves them. Tell them how great that they are. Pick them up. Don't beat nobody down. Pick them up. Stay positive. Stay right and stay optimistic. Being negative, right? Being negative, that's what your enemy want. Being pessimistic, that's what your enemy want, right? But we know that God wants us to be positive, no matter how bad things get, right?
Because it definitely can be tough. Sometimes you meet people, why do I keep fooling with this person?
It can get bad. It can get really bad. The last show I was just on, brother asked me a question about, is God still working in prisons, and is God still, is he still, doing work on people, in the worst of the place and everything? Absolutely.
Yeah, always in the midst.
He listen, y'all, listen, people. Prison is one of his main places of recruitment. I mean, that's honestly, I'm telling you, I know this for a fact. That is, if we look through the Bible, right? When we look through all those 66 books, 39 in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. If we look through all these books, right, you're going to find in both Old and New Testament, you're going to find God's warriors. Some of them were not only incarcerated, a lot of them were at one point in their life fugitives, but all of them, right, all of them went through things. It wasn't all peaches. It wasn't all good. It was never all good. And these were the greatest men in our history, right? Some of them. It wasn't always all good, right? And if we look at Proverbs chapter 24, Proverbs chapter 24, verse 10, it says, thou who faint when faced with adversity, thy strength is surely weak. So if you faint when you are faced with any type of affliction, any type of pain, any type of struggle, any type of hardship, any bad things that happen to you, if you faint, right, or if you cower when faced with that, thy strength or your strength is surely small or weak, right? And what this means is, right, if we dissect this, right, all the way down, right, God takes us through things to make us stronger.
Right.
No matter how bad it look at the time, right, it's not just about that moment. It's always about the process. Everything's a process, right? And if something bad happens, right, always don't look at it like a negative thing. Look at that like, okay, this is a lesson God trying to give me, and every lesson is a blessing. So always look at these bad things that's happening to you. I don't care if someone, your husband or wife cheated. I don't care, what happened in your life. You lost your job or whatever it is. Something is better on the other end.
Right.
Something is better, right? So we must stay focused and we must stay grounded in faith, right? We must have faith. We must have faith, right? We must have faith. And, I want to say that without faith, that's when your enemy going to attack you. That's when he going to tell you, how good doing something really stupid is. And you going to start to believe that. So we must follow righteousness, and we must follow brothers like this, brother. I want you to let these people know where they can contact you at, donations, where they can make them at, any way they can help your campaign. Give it to us, brother.
All right. Well, first off, let me tell everyone about my website. You can find me at www.teamparsonformayor.com. That's Team Parson, Parson, for mayor.com. You can go to my website and you can find out all of the information in regards to my campaign. It also talks about some of the things in regards to my vision for the community.
Okay.
If you want to make a donation, you can make donations from there online. Additionally, you can find me on Facebook at Rob Parson for Mayor. And then you can also find me on Instagram at Team Parson for Mayor. I know that's 3 different things that we've named here, but if you go to Facebook, it's at Rob Parson for Mayor, and on Instagram, it's at Team Parson for Mayor. But you can find out my information there, and donations are always welcome, no matter how small or how big. Unfortunately, campaigns like this is not something that I could fund myself, although I'd like to be able to do so. But I do need help from everybody else to be able to get this done and accomplish the goal of being the mayor of the city of Florissant.
Man, thank you, brother. And I want everybody that's tuning in right now to KACN 1010 AM, the Gusto G Show. I want everybody, spread the word. Not only you, spread the word to your friends and family. Go out and support, and let's vote Robert Parson for mayor of Florissant, April 2nd. God bless y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Gusto G Show here at FaithTalkSTL.com. Hey, brother, you've been amazing. You've been amazing. You've been wonderful.
God, me to be here.
Hey, anytime you want to come back, brother. Matter of fact, after you get elected, we bring you back.
All right. That's a date. That's a bet.
God bless y'all. And at the Gusto G Show, your source for information and inspiration. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Visit them online